Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kirsten. If you're new here, hi, welcome. I film dental assisting videos and life videos and just a bunch of random stuff. But yeah, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you enjoy this video, give it a like and leave a comment down below on what you want to see from me in the future. Today's video, I'm going to be filming dental assisting mistakes to avoid. I have filmed this in the past. I had to delete it. There's a video about why I had to delete it, but I'm just gonna make sure I'm super vague and just give y'all the bare bones of what y'all need to avoid when you start clinicals or when you start working at a dental office. So let's just get into the video. My first tip is to not put dental handpieces into the ultrasonic. This is a big one. Dental handpieces can be very expensive. I know they sell cheaper ones on Amazon now, but even so, no one wants to keep buying dental handpieces. The ones that are really well made and last a really long time, as long as they're oiled and well taken care of, can be $300–400. So make sure when you are breaking down a chair that you pull the dental handpiece and kind of put it to the side just to make sure it doesn't end up on the tray where the stuff is going to go into the ultrasonic. These handpieces are still to be sterilized, so make sure they still do get pouched and put in the sterilizer, but you just don't want to put them into the ultrasonic, and you also don't want to run them under sink water. I suggest cleaning them with a cavi wipe, wiping them down really good, making sure they're oiled, and then placing them into a sterilizing bag and putting them into a sterilizer. So I know people that have, at least in my last video, and people in real life that have told me that they accidentally put the handpiece into the ultrasonic and that they didn't know what to do in that situation, and I just told them, you know, be upfront with your doctor about breaking the handpiece and yeah, just being honest about it, owning up to it, and really taking it as a learning moment, because I know it can be kind of frustrating for doctors losing, you know, a $300 handpiece because you just didn't know, but now you know because I'm telling you. So don't put handpieces, don't put hygiene pieces in there either. Anything with a motor, don't put it in the ultrasonic, and also don't run it underwater. Okay, so my second mistake to avoid is basically when it comes to charting. You should chart everything, anything and everything. You can avoid a lot of mistakes by charting everything that happens at an appointment or even before an appointment. A patient calls and leaves a voicemail, put it in their chart. If a patient comes in with a broken leg, if a patient comes in, they've just had surgery, put it in their note. If a patient comes in and they're asking you multiple questions about what's going on, I would put patient asked questions about this, this, and this, and doctor replied this, this, and this. Obviously put everything that you did during the procedure, and say the patient left upset about something, I would put patient left unhappy, or at the end of the note I'd be like patient left happy and healthy, just in case something were to happen after they left. It's good to know, like, people that read the notes, it's good for them to be like, okay, well, this patient was obviously happy when they left the chair, so something happened between there and there, not something necessarily that happened while I was at the office. Another important thing to put in notes and stuff like that is shade range. So a patient picks a shade for dentures, for crowns, things like that, veneers. It's important to put patient and doctor chose shade for this, and patient was happy with the choice. Another thing, materials, type of etch you're using, type of bonding you're using, type of composite you're using. Brand name, even in like the percentage of it, is really important to put into your notes, just so it's all clear in case any legal reasons were ever to arise. You can go directly to the notes and say, okay, this, and this was used during this procedure for this patient, and this patient was happy or this patient was not happy, things like that. You can never chart too much, you can only chart too little. My third mistake to avoid is to never diagnose a patient or never even sway in a direction for a patient, because you are not a doctor, you didn't go to school for 8+ years, and it's really important to kind of just keep your opinions about treatment or issues that a patient is having to yourself. I do realize that after a long period of time, you can begin to look at x-rays and notice similarities in, like, okay, this looks like decay, this looks like an abscess, this looks like whatever it could be. Because with anything that you were exposed to for a long time, you tend to obviously learn and understand things, and that's great, and it's honestly a good thing to do, because sometimes doctors can miss things. So it could be like, hey doc, did you notice this on this tooth? It's not you diagnosing anything, it's just be like, I noticed something different, I noticed something out of the ordinary. And when it comes to patients, say you're taking their x-rays and they're pointing at the x-ray, or they're saying something to you, they're like, could this be a cavity? Do I need a root canal? Do I need an extraction? It's really important just to be like, I understand that you're in pain. I cannot diagnose anything that's going on with you. The doctor will come in here and take a look and tell you exactly what needs to be done. But for right now, do you have any other questions? Or, just be very polite as possible, but just let them know that you cannot diagnose them. And a lot of patients tend to ask dental assistants because a lot of patients tend to be more comfortable talking one-on-one with assistants just because we are lower level than the doctor. I feel like sometimes they're a little bit more comfortable talking with us, but just keep it professional and be as polite as possible and just say, I'm not exactly sure what that is. The doctor will begin here in a minute or two and he will gladly answer all of your questions and let you know everything that's going on and what sort of treatment, if there's treatment that is needed. So yeah, just kind of dancing around it a little bit. Because I know looking at x-rays and stuff sometimes and I see things and I'm just in my mind I just want to blurt out, oh, that looks like a huge cavity, or that looks like reoccurring decay, so they have a huge filling or crown and you can see decay, and you just you see it and you know what it is, but you just don't say it, okay? The best thing you can do is just what we did, what I did when I was in clinicals is if we took an x-ray and we noticed anything, we would just write it down on a sticky note and put it right on, we would put number 14 question mark, number 1 question mark, number 9 question mark, just because we weren't diagnosing, but we just noticed something different. That's all I have to say about that. My next tip is to not ask questions during a procedure, if a doctor's doing a procedure and you're assisting, or make super bold statements. I know a lot of assistants in the beginning, they like to ask a lot of questions, they're learning procedures. Make sure you just hold your questions until after the procedure is done, and maybe when you're on the hallway or in the doctor's office, be like, hey doc, I was just wondering why you did this instead of this. And it's not that the doctor is doing something wrong, it's just different scenarios and different procedures call for different steps or instruments and things like that. So if you're just coming from a knowledge point, be like, hey doc, this one was done this way, this one was done this way, what was the difference between the two, or did you just feel more comfortable using this? That all comes with learning, but never ask in front of a patient. And also don't ever say things like, oh, or shucks, or make weird noises during procedures, because it tends to scare patients and it can put your doctor on edge, and it's not good for the whole situation to begin with. So don't ever make weird noises and don't ask questions or make super bold statements during procedures. Those things are just better to be left after the procedure and the patient has. My next mistake to avoid is double check your doctor if you're about to do a filling or an extraction or a root canal. Make sure you're actually working on the right tooth. It happens a lot more than you would think that doctors work on the wrong tooth, extract the wrong tooth, basically do damage to a perfectly healthy tooth when they were supposed to do a procedure on a tooth that wasn't maybe healthy. I think that maybe in the moment your doctor would be a little bit startled by the fact that you're writing something or tapping really loudly or something, but when it comes to those situations, it's so important to do what's best for the patient, and your doctor will literally love you in the long run. They'll be so thankful that you did what you did. Do whatever you have to in a non startling way to the patient to let your doctor know that, hey, this is not the right tooth. So in your charts, make sure you read the chart before you sit the patient down. What I suggest is on your where your instruments are, write down the tooth number that you're working on and the surfaces that you're doing, or if you're doing a root canal or something, obviously you can just write the whole tooth. But you're doing a filling, you're doing an MO, a DO, MDIO, just whatever you're doing, write it really big so that you and the doctor can see. And then also discussing it between you and the doctor with the patient right there before you start is also another really good idea. So say we're doing a MO on number 15, and you and the doctor with the patient sitting right there say, okay, so today we are doing a filling on tooth number 15. We're going to be doing a mesial occlusal, an MO, and make sure it's aware with everyone in the room. Another thing that I know some doctors do is they make patients sign a form about what tooth they're doing the filling on before they actually even start doing the filling. So that's just to cover their backs, I guess, and apparently it is very common. I've never actually seen a doctor work on the wrong tooth, but I've heard multiple stories about it, and it's a big deal. Patients having healthy teeth, and then it's really important to keep confidence in between your patient and your doctor and your office very high, because if that patient goes out and tells people that your doctor, he drilled on the wrong tooth, it was a perfectly healthy tooth, and now I have this tooth with a cavity and this tooth has been drilled into, so it's they left with more problems than they came with. So it's important to Write it really big on a piece of paper. Have the patient sign something. Openly discuss it. When your doctor is looking at it and talking about it with you and the patient before they even start, make sure that's the right tooth. Think in your mind, that is the correct tooth. This is tooth number 15. We're doing MO. This is what we're doing. It'll save your doctor and you a lot of trouble, your office a lot of trouble, the patient a lot of trouble. Just, you can never check too many times that you're working on the right tooth. It's the right thing to do. And like I said, if you see that your doctor is about to drill in on the wrong tooth, maybe take a pencil and kind of tap right here to get their attention. Just do whatever you can to like respectfully and like low key get their attention and let them know that this is the tooth that we're working on. So it does happen, and like I said, it can't hurt. So it can only help. Decided to join us at the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure like it, subscribe, leave comments down below. It's also my dog's 2nd birthday today, so happy birthday, Luna. I love you. And she's been on this channel so many times, and y'all love her, and we both love you guys. You gonna say bye, Yuns? You wanna say bye? You wanna say bye? Look at that sweet girl. I love you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Say hi, Yuns.